ndayivula ibhayibhile ndiyothetha kwenza kodwa ndiyothetha kwelila. Beautiful.
It's been lovely.
Thank you.
Are you ready for season 2?
I enjoyed the catch-up, hey?
The catch-up was nice.
Uncle Beza.
One last question.
One last question.
What was your favorite episode for season 1?
I liked all of them.
Oh, okay. I know you like all of them, but what stood out? Which one stood out? For me, it was the very first we did.
It did, right? I think
because
what?
We were literally raw there.
I think we were raw.
Yes,
we
just
not raw
went
throughout
into it.
all of them.
Huh? Well, we were, but I think we got used to the stage and the camera lights and the instructions. We got a bit more comfortable.
I think the one that for me stood out, in terms of its weight, lesson yayo, you know, Viwe. Remember Viwe?
Yes, late track.
The one who was at this prestigious school. But you know why it stood out for me? I think it stood out for me because I think as parents, we try so much. And sometimes whilst we're giving our kids the best there is, sometimes we forget to the best there is comes with the entire lifestyle. Prestigious school.
Man.
And then as a parent, that's all you can afford.
Man.
Being in those schools, whole day, but I mean, you know, that was just, it is an international holiday actually, and all the prestigious things.
Oh my goodness.
So I'll be forever, you know, subdued.
There's a whole lot of conversations that built up. I saw on Facebook, the Facebook was a buzz.
About that, right?
About, the very same topic. And this other guy told me that a friend that he knows, one of those famous people in the socials, and in the show business as well, goes to a prestigious school, and they go big on birthdays, and they take kids for trips overseas. And, you know, they will take your child, pay for them, but they expect the same treatment of their kids when it's your turn.
Yes. Darling.
And if you don't do it once, at that moment, instantly,
your child is cut off.
Yes.
My goodness. But I think that's the episode that stood out for me. The guys getting us for hours. Brian, guys, we are supposed to have that conversation. Brian!
Pizza.
Let's go. Come, let's have this inside.
Studio, and we've decided we're going to do something different this time around. We decided Viwe has navigated and has done a whole 20 episodes in season 1. This time around, to introduce season 2, we thought to ourselves, let's have a little round table, literally a round table, an informal chat with the main cast. Get to know Viwe personally. I mean, you tend to look at, some people will look at Viwe and think to themselves, 1st of February 2020, there was a major article that came out.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
It was 21st of Feb.
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Yes, it's the cast, right?
Yeah.
But the spotlight is on Viwe.
Of course, spotlight is on Viwe.
Let's make that clear.
Why me?
Very.
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh.
The spotlight is always on everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always a pioneer in everything.
Yeah. So the spotlight's on you.
I feel like I've asked Mo to so many questions. At times he felt like I went like too overboard. And I feel like I hope you don't treat today as though it's your time to retaliate.
No vengeance, nothing.
I hope, right?
Listen, no
I
one's
want to feel
retaliating.
safe, so make me feel safe.
No, you're safe. This is a very safe. If she always says this, this is a safe environment.
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. So you're in a safe space.
Safe with us and the viewers.
Zibuyela kuwe ndakazonke today. Zibuyela kuwe. So 21st of Feb 2020.
Yeah.
Huge article comes out of the Daily Sun.
Yeah.
And the article says, I'm divorced, let's party. And that is where some people got to know Viwe from, right? Now, from the comments that came through to the journey that took her there, we don't know her prior to that. And that is exactly what today is about. Let's start with, I'm divorced, let's party. Let's get the white elephant out the room. Wow. Why the party? Let's get
divorced as a fudge.
Yeah. Divorced as fudge, yes.
Divorced as fudge. Divorced as fudge.
So why the party? How did the party come about?
So there's a
Vi.
bit of story behind it,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so I'll be honest. I was not entirely a fan of my divorce. I didn't want my divorce to happen.
Sure.
I think I did what I could to stall it because I thought, hey man, people were just insane around this thing, you know? But it had to happen. So when it finally happened, I had to now also adjust to its reality that,
Yeah.
okay, it's now happening. And there were a lot of things that one was dealing with. But I think one particular thing about the event, about the event, not the event as in like the divorce party, but the event as in the divorce, was that surely it was something I needed to process and it's something I needed to work through. But I also understood that because we were married in the context of other people, you know, they had also formed a sort of, I don't know what to call it. At first, it's familiarity towards the marriage, you know, and also some way in support most people or that I think I know. And so they were also going through their own thing because they didn't expect it. At least I was part of it and I knew it was happening. So from time to time, I would find myself in situations where people would be expressing how they're feeling and in turn making me feel some type of way. So this particular day, I remember I'm going out to buy cosmetics. And as I'm approaching the shop, this lady is coming out of the shop. And hey, hello, how are you? But you could see, man, in her face, she's carrying weight, and I could identify by weight, you know? And it didn't take long before she was like, I'm Viwe. I was like, oh, because I'm is going to have their time with me to tell me how they're feeling about this whole thing about Viwe. And then babene examples zabo wezaba yazo wamumyeni wahamba wathini lento uzawubuya, you know, I was getting all sorts and they were coming from, I don't distrust where everything was coming from, but it's what it was doing to me that I was concerned about. It's every time I had to relive your experience of this when I'm going through this thing. Do you understand? So on this particular day, I remember very well, my circumstances weren't changed. I was still divorced and the reasons for it were still existing, you know, and whether I go into them or not. But yes, there was other players, you know, within, you know, it was no longer just me and my husband, ex right now. So, lady and she starts saying all these things, you know, I found myself, girl, man, your test is right, or just go out shop, go shop for stuff that you need, essentials. Nakungondialila emnyangweni wale venkile because and ngoku sekhona organizations midnight prayers. And ngoku kwafuneka sithi hey ndabe ngiqomba ejonga mina ke naturally as a person I understand myself to function this way. If you feel sorry for me, I feel sorry for myself. And as a result, if you're in my circle, best you know, if I'm going through something, find other ways of supporting me without necessarily coming back to me and you know and pity parting me, you know, and sonke ngosingene kule energy that is so low and man is validated, but actually what we're going through is actually a lot. So I didn't want that. I remember living there. I was going to meet my girls later on. When I got to them, I was like, hey, Braz, something has to happen. Something has to definitely happen because there is no way this is going to be my life. You know? I don't think he is enjoying the same types of conversation because he seems to be happy and, you know, living his life. Who's carrying the burden of misery. Thank you for that. So I was like, no, something has to happen. And I think as we were sitting there thinking, we're like divorce party, you know? And this is like, my divorce was on the 4th of December. So this is still in the December period. I think we hadn't even gotten to the 16th of December. But of course, at the time, we realized, December, dates is and then we're like, okay, let's open the new year with a divorce party. It was honestly my way of saying, I'd rather deal with people confused with me, who, you know, with my character. I'd rather deal with people thinking, oh, who is she to throw? And I mean, to throw a divorce party. And I also understood there's a whole lot of people that we knew from our church then, which were anti-divorce. I mean, the church does not support divorce in any form.
Not, So
so
not for you to have a party.
Yeah, I understood that throwing the party, I mean, of course, I was going to lose people in the process. And a lot of those people were the type of people that would have kept me in the same hole, you know, that would have been sitting me down to prayers and to, you know, instead I'm one for I always advocate for it. I feel like the sooner you accept whatever is happening to you, the sooner you can be functional and, and move on with your life.
Sure.
And the sooner you are placing this to Usatan, then you have no control over it. You can't take control over something that, you're still placing the blame elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I always work with me, and I always work with what can I do in this situation.
Yeah.
So to liberate me and for me to earn my confidence to walk the streets and to not actually be caught up in conversations that I felt were just holding me back.
Sure.
That's what gave birth to the divorce party, which we organized in a short space of time. And I had only the fewest people there to support me.
I love it though.
And we did the most. We'd never been to a divorce party, so we had to come up with what's going to happen. We knew it had to be ceremonious. It can't be party,
Yeah.
So there was that whole walking back up the aisle, and I knew I'd never seen it before, but I felt I deserved it. And till today, no regrets.
Listen, I remember
Absolutely
seeing pictures of Zayo. I was like, who is this crazy woman? Good Lord. And Nalendi Teta, you're about Ndobana, confusing people about your character. First people that jump into my mind in our family, what did your family say?
So I think I'm one person who interacts with facts as facts.
Yeah.
So I knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where the rest of my family were in terms of everything.
Sure.
But the few people that I held quite closely to my heart were the people I consulted.
Yeah.
I still called up my dad and be like, Utata is actually the same person that, what I realized when I divorced is how much I needed my mother, but my mother was not around anymore.
Yeah.
And it's also the same time that I actually got to bond with my dad.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's the same person I felt like, I've got to keep this guy alive. If he thinks my world is falling apart, he could also die, then I'll be parenting. So I was always very conscious on taking people, especially the people that are part of my core, along with me. Part of that meant going to my father and presenting a 3-year plan. But things are here, this is how I'm going to turn my life around.
Yeah.
So when you finally speak
man.
to my dad, he's going to tell you about the 3-year plan that I set and presented.
Yes,
I was just trusting him.
Actually.
He was trusting something that, I don't know, he'll perhaps tell you where his trust was coming from. But having set him down to present, so the other thing was to say, now, Dad, in fact, going back a bit, the support that he gave was not necessarily a support of, I don't know how to place it. It was the support of just listening.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd call my dad crying and not say anything.
Yeah.
And he would sit on that call, wait for me to be done crying. And then he'd be like, remember though who you are, know? And then you're like, then you take it back on all the wins. It was as useless compared to where you are.
Yeah.
But I think it was his way. I could recognize that it was his way of saying, listen, there is more to this,
Right.
Yeah.
So divorce party, he's one of the people I went down home to and said, it's a divorce party. He'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
I could see why he had reservations in his eyes. But I also think he saw that I was asking, but I was also just telling that this is what I'm going to do.
Sure.
I know that when you're styling something as though it's
a request.
Yeah.
But it's actually an instruction.
Yeah.
So when I got the blessing, and then the next people that I sat down with were my 2 daughters, I said, listen, mommy has to do this. The little one was just like, I don't know if it makes you happy, do that.
Yeah. Do you?
And then my first daughter had questions for me, and I had to tell her, look, ultimately, I have to, it can never be that bad to return to self.
Sure.
That I'm supposed to do it, so carrying the shame and so on.
Yeah.
So I think it was a moment for us to honestly open up to each other, for the first time around, how I wanted to be seen as now a divorced person.
Yeah.
And how I didn't want to carry the burden of having people feel sorry for me.
Sure.
And how I knew that, look, if it is... And also, the other thing that my dad used to say was, Oba, I can't even put it into words anymore. But most the advice I would be, treat this with the contempt it deserves. That I'm English. Or else, or he'd be like, oh yes, he would say. And honestly, I think divorce was mostly around my ex-husband. I mean, he went to the divorce. He filed for the divorce. He did. So one of the advices from my dad would be, Ndana, an unopposed force will die of its own momentum.
Yep, that's true.
Sit still. Do not respond. So that was everything that, that was channeled through me from him.
Yeah.
It's okay to sit still. But Sissy, I've got a fight in me for days, But when I heeded that advice and sat down, and actually I had more clarity as to why it had to happen. The divorce. So yes, I did consult the close people.
Sure.
Did I extend it to the rest of the family? I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was also carrying the burden of living with the divorce.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's talk a bit about our guests at the party.
Actually.
Were they married people? Did you have a methodic approach on who you're going to bring on board regarding the party? Because now I'm thinking,
was it just the girls?
They've got their own opinions and their approach to this. Some of them want you to restore your marriage. Some of them are saying, "Aye, cabaret."
Yeah.
No.
The best way to get over this one is to get under another one, type of thing. Like,
yes. There are various opinions that sympathizers.
Of course.
Now, what approach did you employ? Inviting.
Drawing
up your guests.
I was planning a very intimate dinner.
Yeah.
With a few ladies.
Yeah.
Honestly, when word got out, I actually had more people. I remember getting a call. You even invited me. I was like, oh, you'd want to come, Because I imagined the weight of it. I mean, that it came from a girls' sitting, which was just a few of us.
Yeah.
And that it expanded to now everybody that eventually was there was a bit of a surprise for me.
Sure.
But it also ties in for me personally with the saying, show me your friends, I will tell you a character, right?
Sure.
I've never also, as a married woman, been the type of woman that says I will only befriend married people.
Sure.
So for me, I've had relationships that I've continued and transitioned with through from growing up to getting married, now divorced, some are still divorced. So that wasn't a criteria.
Yeah.
It was not a matter of if you're coming, you must be single. I mean, there were single people, there were married people. And I think the message I got, at the end of the day, after we were all in the program and whatever, was just honestly an issue of people interacting with you genuinely.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything else could have come out of it, given the fact that the people that you sit with, and I think people, even though they weren't familiar with divorce as a party as a concept, but because they trusted the person who was doing it, so it was us meeting at a point where we're here, no one can change my circumstances. Am I not allowed to celebrate my return? Yes. Is the celebration of my return a direct jab? And no, because that was actually one of the things that were communicated clearly at the divorce party. That we're not here to celebrate or to bash, but and I was clear to say we're not going to
celebrate your return.
No, we're not going to be like, oh, he's lost or he's not. That's up to everybody to figure out for themselves between me and him.
Yeah.
But it was honestly to say, look, life as we knew it between, as it involved me and my ex-husband has changed.
Sure.
If you see him, 2K, bro, don't fight nothing, because embrace him the same way you're embracing me, you know. Yes, our divorce may have not been peaceful, but we all have a right to still continue to live. So I don't want anybody carrying anything on my behalf.
Sure.
I just want a space to live my own life, which I've done.
Yeah. Now,
for the past 6 years.
Before we even jump off of this topic, of the divorce party, some of the comments that came through, obviously, back then, looking at them now retrospectively, right? You're obviously in a different frame of mind right now.
Absolutely.
You are definitely in a different walk of life right now. Looking back at them retrospectively, did they hurt you back then? And think to yourself, flip, if I had focused on this kind of response, it would have hurt the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't. Type of thing. I mean, you get comments like that comes from a tired wife. Us women, we heal before we go for divorce. That was this marriage thing must be a contract. After 10 years, go renew. That was another one. When contracts need to be congratulations. Some come out in coffins. You came out alive. Live fully and happy being single. Don't mind these negative people on this platform. They are negative in everything.
I love that.
Those are just some of the comments as well.
So mostly positive. Are there any negative?
Yeah, of course. Flip, it's gone, Charlie. Like when you get married for the wrong reasons, you find reasons to celebrate when you divorce. I'm the product of married couple. My mom and dad, things were not easy, but they always find to resolve their issues. Marriage is a life journey with ups and downs. That's what one person said.
Yeah. I also just maybe with the other comments, other people were saying, oh, now, I remember seeing them then, oh, now you throwing a divorce party with this man's money.
Yeah.
And there were other ones. I mean,
people
there was quite
assuming.
Yeah.
You know, oh yes, if we celebrate that to go to Koto,
there were all sorts of things. I think for me, primarily is why did I publish this whole thing? Perhaps to even invite or to even find myself. I didn't invite actually, to find myself being scrutinized and comments like that coming.
Can I join you? What can I join you?
So I think for me, strategically, what we wanted to do, because we knew a divorce party, it could easily carry the wrong message when people hear it. It's like, I go boxing. So I called up this journalist friend of mine. It's like, come cover this thing. You'll see who you send it to. And but just make sure that we make it clear, this is not about him. So let's cover it. I mean, also I wanted to control the narrative, let me say.
Absolutely.
But I hadn't thought about the responses that would come. So as they came, I mean, they were. I mean, I still appreciate it when people say, "Oh my God, you left alive. Some live in coffins." I can't take the glory for that because you know, I wanted to be in the marriage. So I can't claim victory on living because I left because I had little choice at the time.
It was initiated,
it was initiated. So I got to a point where I wasn't going to defend it any further. So for such comments, you're like, okay, great. You know, at least, I mean, if other people live in coffins, I could have easily been that person. And that I didn't, thank God. And then again, when I also got to understand through that article that guys, you could be one person and you could carry 1,000 reputations. Because every person is entitled to their own opinion. And they can have opinions about you. Imagine like carelessly saying, "I went to divorce party ngemali yalendo tayityalo mali girl." You know
what I mean?
How finances are structured.
How do you know what finances?
And I get that social media plays a big role in selling as perceptions that women are incapable of standing on their own. You know, that if you know. But that doesn't define me. It defines the person who is writing that. Do you understand? And it's never my duty. So I got a day to live and understand how it feels like to be a public person where you carry a million reputations, depending, and people, and all of those are coming from projections, like Mawethu is saying.
Nothing.
I mean, for that matter, I'm not a public person, especially then, but I just did this thing. But I'm like, I wasn't no opinions like what's keep up on my white line, you know? So I didn't attach much importance to all of them.
I like the fact that you were clear that it was not about bashing.
No, absolutely not.
Your former significant other, shall I say.
No.
But I also like the fact that it was not an express attack on the Institute of Marriage itself. No. You want to tell us your views and how they were prior to you getting into this impasse, and your views post then the divorce, because I feel like that was the new Viwe coming. You know? Because, you know, when we talk, I get the sense that there was a Viwe, you know, held back in marriage and very, you know, reticent and not that loud on her thoughts and imaginations. And then came the Viwe post the experience, right? That said, look, I'm gonna be in charge of my own living. So now tell us.
So the Viwe before got married just as an exercise of ticking a box. Yes, I wanted it to work with all of my life. It's only with reflection where I realized that, did I marry honestly for the time, or did I marry understanding myself, my character and circumstances? I think I didn't. I think I tried to fit everything into something that I'd already committed to, which was the marriage. I don't think I had established fully who I was. I don't think I had established fully what I intended to do with my life.
Yeah.
So everything had to be fit into a train that was already moving. I literally think there wasn't too much. I think at the very basic, I always say my mother taught me a lot about life, as she lies there, she in a final resting place. I also know she's influenced my character quite a lot. She was quite a strong woman.
Yeah.
But the only thing I know she never really taught me was men.
Yeah.
How to deal with men. And so that's something I honestly tested on my own.
Aibo, you have a father. Oh,
I'm saying about my mother because my father would never speak to him about boys.
That's his chapter.
Yeah, it tends to. I suppose was like it's our chapter now as these new age dads.
Right.
Looking back at Abazali Betu, like
it wasn't like that.
You shut on some.
Exactly. No.
Right now on some. In fact, to Puma go school in London, go straight home.
Injal.
So but I'm just thinking the way you relate with your father, even now, your daughters are observing.
Yeah.
And, he gives you an impression of the totality of a male figure.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Maybe let's let you continue.
Oh, okay. So I literally married the first guy that asked. Was the due diligence on my part? No. I feel like there was never an issue of, can this guy honestly, okay, let me not put it to him. Let me rather put it to us as a possible unit,
Yeah.
How are our values aligned for the long run, right? I had to adjust even coming into the relationship. Because one church, and that church doesn't allow them to marry outside the church.
Wow.
So
okay.
even behind my parents' back, I went and got baptized in his church. On the year we were supposed to get married,
so equally yoked.
Yes, and that for me is still a dynamic that one looks back on and be like, one was willing to lose themselves to this thing. Because if the minute something does not accommodate you as you are, and that for you to fit into it, parts of you must be augmented, then already there's a problem. I think with reflection, I realized that, look, even coming into it, there was this hurdle that I had to jump. I had to seem like I had to forget everything, like didn't practice certain things that I grew up around, I just honestly had to be somebody else, and I was in love. Benteng only chocolates and flowers, and with him there was a whole lot of public affection.
Okay.
And something I wasn't familiar with, Bantu zandla phambi kwabantu,
Yeah.
Public love that's declared.
Yeah.
Public attention and sort of that. So, and all of that. So, as a young girl, you're like,
most people
you think this is what it is, right? But when it came to the real stuff, bro,
living daily life,
that was a lot. I still look back at myself and be like, girl, you were willing to die in all of that, I had to be a big ultimately, I was in it for life. I wasn't
loyalty.
Yeah, I wasn't brought up from a broken home.
Yeah.
And also generally from a kaya, like there's divorces right? So I would have, besides my aunt, I'm literally the first, And I also divorced after 30 years of marriage. So,
yes.
And it was divorce. But as young as I was going through a divorce, as a result, most of it I went through it alone. People only found out later.
Yeah.
later.
Guys who are in their 29th year of marriage, please don't panic now.
Yeah, no, please. Shalan bagono 40, no 50. Basa gono 40, no 50.
Guys, but as long as you're here. But anyway, people must stay married.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't know. I wanted to stay.
Sure.
That I got to the other side, in fact, to complete the question that you asked, or my response to it, therefore. That I got to the other side and actually learned that there's life far better than it.
Yeah.
And I think my most comfort came from Orolebet in Detwapal, right? Then I was sort of coming back to self because there was an awakening in me in that I really, honestly, I love private space. And it's something I had survived without in forever. I am intentional now, coming back, that it doesn't matter who I'm seeing. I have to have my time alone.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I appreciate. So I used to appreciate waking up in the mornings without the voice of someone yelling, like just quietness, you know.
Peace.
That peace, you know, that was...
You were singing earlier on, my peace has cost me people.
It has. Peace can cost you people. But I mean, if you understand what it does for you as a person, then it's honestly a price too little to pay.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just people, and if you like me, I understand. But some people are meant to be our lives for a term. So I'm not gonna stand in the way of anyone living.
Sure.
Just because I will still choose my peace.
For sure.
Because that has to be with me till the day I sign out of here.
For sure.
You know, I've got to find space for it. So yes, coming back, sana ndothuka. Akumnandi emhlabeni kabawo. Jonga yeke le uqengqeleke ebhedini, suddenly I don't have to. Look, and also coming, you know, indoctrination, guys, gaslighting is something that is quite real. Because I was coming from a mother that was known in the community to be a very strong woman, you know. I was very much aware of how submissive I needed to try and be. And that's what I was trying to be. I feel like I tried. You know, for every win, I'd be like, my man did this. You know, for every answer, my man did this. You know what I mean? I was so conditioned into, I mean, I was saying to somebody in recent times that I could not even though I left my former work to go join him and be in business, I found it difficult to call myself a bullwoman. It was almost like I didn't Sanjay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
not
you actually
owning your glory.
But how jonga except bra.
Dude.
This yes,
like, this was the sweat
and
of
I was
your brow.
happy to pass on the glory because, darling, you are my husband. And I will put every step for you to stand on top. Yeah. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter how much you push a person to stand on top. If they don't believe it, and if they cannot,
if they're not ready.
If they're not ready, they will always, compete with their own greatness. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, man.
To me, it sounds like ububambe yona. I don't think it's such a bad thing to cheer your man up. But I think more than that, right now, Viwe, you're saying you are reviewing, or in retrospect, you think that you got into this thing without fully understanding yourself in any way.
100.
Right, and what your temperament was.
100.
But now, don't you feel that you are, again, with the same pair of lenses? You are highly guarded, like your tolerance for certain things has become low.
Yeah, refined. It's become more refined.
I love how you're saying it's refined, because refined is not necessarily low, right?
No, it's refined.
It's not. I think we've cut out a lot of, we at this point, we've cut out a lot of nonsense. Yeah. Right? We just deal with truth. Yeah. And we appreciate truth for what it is, right? So somebody else might come and say you are too guarded, but you're just like, I'm just getting myself comfortable, you know? Yeah. I want to be comfortable, you know? Yeah. I know I've had this question from a lot of people, are you going to get married again? It's not in my cards yet, you know? And I'm comfortable saying that.
There's a lot to be done.
And I've always said to people, guys, also, I'm sorry if I'm using this example in the wrong context from which you were asking, but I've heard that I'm guarded, particularly when it relates to thinking about settling down again, right? Maybe I am, But I'm just here honestly to make me comfortable.
Sure.
If I'm comfortable, I will get married.
Sure.
Up until that day, I'm not gonna get married.
Otherwise, you don't have problems. Given that everybody had an opinion, this is more like people that barely knew you, right?
Yeah.
Now, did you have to go back and explain yourself to the family? What have you done to us? This is an affront. We don't do stuff like that. We don't celebrate divorce. We don't throw parties for an event like that.
Did you get kicked out of church?
Did you find yourself having to explain again to say, okay, guys, I did it for this and that reason?
More importantly, how long did it take for them to kick you out of church?
Remember,
she actually extracted herself out of church because now she had to be in the husband's denomination, right?
Oh, yeah.
So now with the divorce,
you emancipate yourself from,
you liked it so much that you decided to stay.
Like effort Indians
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You had noble intentions. Don't ever judge yourself harshly for that.
Oh, you can't.
Like Buddha.
Yeah.
It happens.
You did it for the unit.
We do things, we do strange things for love.
Ourselves.
Absolutely.
Sometimes
that
we
I
need to die
believe.
to ourselves.
I believe so.
Yeah.
But I also don't think dying to self means sacrificing yourself.
Yeah.
I believe, and I think this goes for anybody considering entering a marriage institution, that I think it's better for you to stand on ground, on business, on who it is that you are. And I hope whoever you're marrying into law family accepts you for who you are.
Yeah.
The minute you have to augment certain things to make yourself palatable, you know.
Yeah.
I know I might not be of this church, but but I was singing to God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
As I was singing, actually also in my own home church before, because I love singing,
Sure.
right? So there's no regrets there. But I was fully immersed in it, honestly. Do I judge the circumstances? Yes, now with hindsight, I can.
Sure.
You know, I can definitely judge the situation, right?
Having to explain to family.
Yes.
No. You know, if family just as a, like as I told you who I explained myself to, but also I also understand, but if family entitlement to importance. Yeah, is there such? But an entitlement to your life.
To how relevant they are. To how much they feature almost in your life.
So I would say, explaining myself, it was different according to proximity.
Sure.
Yeah.
So if I felt you were close enough and, you know, within a reasonable, you know, where the conversation would be reasonable for me to host with you, for sure, I'm sure we've had that conversation. But I also think in the same breath, anybody that I haven't had that, conversation with, it's been 6 years, clearly we're still in a distance.
Yeah,
so
sure.
is it the entire family? Hell no.
So things are relevant now.
But also,
I think you were well rested in the fact that it had the blessing of your dad.
Yeah.
I think sometimes our parents are a good enough indication. That
definitely
on the right track.
Definitely.
Maybe they've accepted the fact that you differ on certain on certain elements.
Yeah. I was raised in such a home. I was raised
a unique individual.
I was raised in such a home. I was raised in a, when I used to think, oh my goodness, for me, your level of engagement was always important.
Yeah.
Because so you're obviously not a fit.
Yeah.
Before Mama passed, I said to her, I had a lot of questions around religion. And I was like, I'm going to take time out. And
be in the jungle.
I'm not going to, and Funbene stress mother meant because she was, but the nice thing is that even at that moment where I'm sitting, I'm like, but I'm going to take time off church. I feel like, yes, I was in Joburg. I worked damn hard for church. You know, I was in leadership as a young girl. And then the class situation, I worked damn hard. Now, and I've sort of immersed myself fully. And got to a point where
I love their singing.
Yeah, and I'm like, your questions about this whole thing are actually so intense. I need time out.
Yeah.
So I said that to her. But kumande kaya ke because singabantu abadebatayo.
Sure.
So
nice.
even at the end of that, that debate, Mama would be like, I get your point, mntanam, but get this, mnasendimdala, to explore this conversation to the same level as you are doing.
Yeah.
But I had to know, good luck, because all I wanted was to teach you that there is God.
Yeah.
How you manage that space, that's entirely up to you.
For sure.
But because the engaged, you engage, you.
Right.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean there was democracy. We still knew Bangbani is King Bani, you know?
Yeah.
But there was a healthy space to say.
There was always that intellectual exercise.
It was. Yes. Simply because I had a utato funda incwadi kakhulu.
Yeah.
Who was the wind beneath my mother, who was also a very influential woman. So I think, so there was a lot they debated and caught on with our conversations.
Yeah.
And my dad, kuhleli kapha entloko, so loved conversation till date to aqhashe mom dala ngoku kaphinda phinde Lord. But I mean, a very healthy-minded man.
Yes.
Very non-traditional man. Yeah, very eco-centered man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very earnest man. So, yeah.
It's a man we're talking about.
Yeah, man. Come on. Come on. Very few like us. Like
guys, yeah. Can I run?
Unless you've got more.
No, say, I'm here, I'm warmed up as Isha.
Yeah,
all right.
Perfect. Now let's talk about, you spoke about leadership and you spoke about Iskolo. And all the different things that you did eskolweni and growing up. I think a lot of people. Oh, first of all, you said there are friendships that have that you've still held on to since your childhood, coming up this way. Are there any of those friends that would be able to remember you, usenza indoze drum majorets, gambut dancing, that we can talk to? Because I really want to bring them on as well to give another perspective of
there would be.
Yeah.
I just need to touch base with them.
Yeah.
There would be. There's one that's quite close, but I mean, we're not close anymore. But I know she would bear because it's something we did together.
Yeah.
Ilali siyakwazi kohluleka, right? Ufumanisa into bangapha. Nilale one, but ngapha kugama elithile, ngapha kugama elithile, right?
Yeah.
So how we organized was that she would organize golicala lakhe.
Yeah.
Then and organize whether it's a beauty contest. Then we bring them together to a central venue.
Yeah.
But isitho ngwest abanye bafake rouge, abanye aba rollers. Sixakeke senzo nobuhle phofu ne gifts sithengwa kwasithi.
How old at this point?
Ne gifts, I'm in high school. Ne gifts sithengwa sithi. Ulusanda Dambuza, my other friend, she's in Cape Town now. Ubaba ehlala eTown.
Hello, Luz.
Hello, Lusanda.
Hello, Dambuza.
Wehlala eTown.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess that qualified for her being judge yet because I took it down. It was like, I think take perfumes gagogo. And she had proper English and wabe judge and I can't remember who else would do that for us.
Yeah.
That was on the beauty contest side. And then I remember I did say also by Funde Woods, Dafika Pakusenzwa, Isarafina. Replicator yonke la nto sayenza pha ekhaya eyadini ngabantwana belali jonga Sara and we'd have people come to watch groups zomxhenza. I remember simenywa kwenye ilali ngaphesheya iba masiyoxhenza pha. I would assemble sisiziciko the coke, sikhongwane dibanise ngentambo sifaka apha ngenxabexhensa, they would make that noise. As a result ke ayikho ingoma ke sisi endingayaziyo uba kuyaxhentswa bro ayike noba zeze amagqirha noba zeze jonga zazi zonke. So whether it's church ayisisi ndingakungcwaba ndingacula ndikungcwabe ndikushumayeze, you know what I mean? And for me life has always been like this, and I feel sorry for people who, and I'll tell you for whom I feel sorry for. I've met abantu manzayima sikhule ezilalini but umntu it's like intoni lena isithi songololo like bachep bra bra sifike nini ngoku ekubeni. I feel sorry for people who trade off, uba relevant and lose themselves. I naturally believe that you come into this earth space to for whatever purpose. But as you come in here, you interact with the environment. And the environment could be where you are born, things happening around you. And all of that, I promise you, when you appreciate everything around you and you interact with the environment for what it is, we sort when you stop sorting isn't with an ego, when you just like, guys, you know what I mean? I think, yes, all of that will shape you into such a wholesome human being versus you fighting elements about your life, pretending to be like, I could never, I clean up very well, and I will clean up very well and sit with people and speak English, but I can't forget who I am and where I come from.
Exactly.
Guys, so, the scholar. If that maybe in somebody's scale of whatever puts me off at a lower whatever, but that's me. I don't think any of us choose the circumstances to which we are born. And I don't also think we choose the struggles, So that's how I could never walk away from my divorce with a tail between my legs. I'm like, Andy, choose Angali. So if I have to wear it publicly, I will wear it publicly. Like, I don't personalize nonsense. Hey?
No, unapologetic.
Hell, no. So I don't, it's a pity anybody who thinks they can never chase me on something that's happened to me. But, guys, like...
It's my story to tell. I was asking details.
Come sit here, I'll tell you everything I went through. I'm like, darling.
So that you comment from an informed person.
Oh, darling. And I will tell you how I cried. I will not staring forever. I'll tell you how hurt I felt. Oh.
Now take us through your routine, Viwe. From the rising of the sun to the setting of the sun.
Yeah,
because people think all you do is this podcast. So who is Viwe fully? What do you do?
Actually.
How do you make your living?
Imagine, I make it on my back. I like
You say you clean up well.
Sana, do I not make it on my back? Do I not just lie down on my back? We're like, guys, let's make money.
Let's make this money. If that's the fact.
I want that work. Come, guys, let's make this money. I'm on my back already.
Yes,
So I went into business. I was employed by a government department. And I think considerations for me at the time were, how close the ceiling is, Yeah. And how I won't call it competition, but how the dynamics around the work situation work the minute you want to push it further. And as young as I was, I knew this cannot be my height. And I know the problems I come from. That's predetermined for me, and the sort of term you have to serve for you to start progressing and so on, I just like, I'm out. So when I went, I registered. Yes, guys, I was supposed to have gone for my MBA in 2 years after I got married. But because I had gone into this church and classes were on Saturdays, that dream had to be, sort of put off forever, potentially. But 2011, I suddenly felt like, listen, I can't, I'm not growing. Yes, I'm going to church. If I'm growing, I'm possibly growing in understanding God. But in the context of living life and of having a family, this is not going to work for me. So, dear husband, I am definitely enrolling and I will be at classes on Saturdays for the next 3 years. So how are we going to do this marriage thing? And he was amenable to it. I think he ended up not going to church too is beyond me. But I was speaking for me. So I would still wake up and prepare for him and my daughter. I only had one daughter at the time. But that's a long answer to what I want to get to. So what do I do? So 2014, I took the decision to now go out Namdio Haslisha, and part of it initially was together. We had our wins, we had our big failures, and our big failures were also left with the marriage as well eventually. So one had to find themselves starting out again with the 3-year plan that I presented to my father. And a whole lot of trust, honey, a whole lot of trust, and a whole lot of alignment from my side, but a whole lot of favor from God. I don't feel like I felt the COVID era, even though I was new in business. And then post the COVID era, I came back into hustle and to do izinto. But back to what Umawethu is saying. So when I started out now again in my second round, I never focused on specialization. About what is it that I do? That was the last thing I wanted to respond to, because I was taking on everything. I remember before COVID, I used to, there was even an era where I did catering. You know? And living in
you gotta hustle, bro. Like food on the table.
And at the time, I was living in two worlds in a day, because in the catering at a local university. I'm lecturing at another, at the business school, postgrads, right? Wow. And during that era, I realized, catering, security, bleeding up as, and then you'll have a band of takeaways. This is off budget, but inani guys, it's good. Take it with you, not damn cool, no makul. You know? And you treat it with such disrespect, but I was there for it, And then if you're in your high heels, in your power suit, and you are delivering a lecture to senior people in government on strategy, and you know what I mean? And it's in two worlds in a day, and where you realize, but ultimately, that's my lesson in life. I never carry importance around it. I've done things that, even with my level of education at the time, not now, now as well, you wouldn't imagine somebody doing it. I remember COVID. It was not the most interesting job under the sun. And also what affected me.
From what you've studied and what you've done, what you lecture to
uzamisa. And I'm not saying, so what I'm trying to say is that I've done everything that needed to be done. But where I find myself today, then that's a different question.
Sure.
But yes, I do have these companies that I'm running. And you would know, because the one is also, we are partnered in another sphere. Can I call it that, or is that kind of good? Sure. And the other one is in the built industry. I came back with lessons that I partner for projects and not on my company. So I'm happy to say I stand here as the full owner of my companies, and they offer employment to people, and yes, and that for me, as somebody who started out with just a 3-year plan, by the way, I ticked all those boxes within a short space of time.
Nice.
Nice. I look at where I am, and unfortunately, guys, I'm not someone who's going to say I have this and that and that. And that. But there is enough for me to know that I've actually, in fact, let's put this to perspective.
You've worked flipping hard for this.
Hi, man. Respect to girl, man, because respect to girl. I think what girl does deserve respect. For the amount of work she's put in. Raising kids alone and hustling and doing it all by herself.
And now season 2.
And now
20 episodes later,
exercise,
now season 2.
Do you travel? We see you're very active.
I am.
Talk to the guests.
I am somebody who takes themselves very seriously. That's why if I'm that serious, I just simply move on.
I
don't have time to explain myself to people that don't deserve my time. Sunshine. So
patience level refined.
I don't beg to be loved, guys. I don't negotiate to be accepted. I know how, and yes, I've come to respect conversations with myself. I don't think it gets more honest than that.
Sure.
So.
But I hope they are not loud, eh? You don't walk around in the street conversing with yourself.
Sometimes I pretend to be on the phone in my car. And I'm talking to myself.
It's a sign of intelligence, bro.
So I know.
Okay.
I also know by somebody who's looking. Somebody we could actually be. So somebody in Quebec could easily think she's on a call. That time I'm like, yeah, girl, though.
Because you're researching, you're rehearsing your speech.
And also when I speak to myself, by the way, loudly, there's There's less distractions, you know. My mind is focused on the conversation.
Yeah.
So it's not something I'm ashamed to say. Like, I will close the door and sit myself down and be like, you girl, let's talk. And I love doing that in front of the mirror. The minute the conversation is loud for me, it means everything else is sitting down. And we're just having this conversation.
Moment of clarity.
Yes. And yours is, when it comes from inside you, I promise you, there's no better advice you could ever get from anywhere.
You can't avoid it, bro.
You can't get advice from anywhere. You're bro, I've come to respect. I've come to respect the girl that's in here, because sometimes I'll be like, where did that come from? I'll be like, my routine starts at 4 o'clock. I wake up, I leave the house around 4:30. I go to the gym at 5. Go to the gym at 5. Then I come back, take the kids to school. Then I come back, I get ready for work. Then I go to work. But at least I've come to a point where I don't have to chase to aid at the office. So now 9 o'clock is still okay. I work with me. So if there are mornings where I'm just like, she's not okay. I'm happy to take my nap, because going to work and being ineffective is also something I've learned is a waste of time. I've got to embrace myself. Given the fact that, if I have to push till the morning, I will do that. So I always have to take myself along and be like, how are we feeling today, baby? You know?
Sure.
If we're feeling great, let's do great things early on. If we're not, we'll wait for you.
Sure.
You know, we'll wait for you. And
self-awareness.
When you start feeling like, awake as a girl.
Sure.
Right? And time then stops being an issue. We'll do whatever we need to do till we feel like, okay, that's it.
Sure.
You know? Yeah.
Sure.
That's it. As a mom, I'm a mom to two. It's been one of the biggest struggles. I feel like I would have never had kids if I hadn't gotten married.
Yeah.
So not only did marriage bring me kids, but also marriage failed me, because I'm now taking care of kids alone, fully, for the past, I don't know how many years, since I got divorced. But there's a certain truth in that story that one can't ignore. It's that I've been selling myself stories, or that's the one area actually I needed to be honest with myself about. When I found myself support abantwana ndedwa, right? And you know how people are with advice. Go to maintenance court. Do this and that, you know, to coerce this person to participate. But I think with myself and with my personal conversations, there's certain truths about how things had been, however they were, you know, that I couldn't really jump. You know, I was like, now that you're not married to this person, are you honestly expecting them to cooperate with you given ta-ta-ta? I don't have to go to ta-ta-ta. Then when I did that evaluation within myself, I was like, listen, right now, you need to be building. You are no longer going to try and perfect people for you. If you failed to make the situation perfect in your marriage, what power do you have from outside the marriage? What hope do you have? And I think that came as at an instance, because the spoilsham that I had around the ex-husband, I never had to drop off kids at school, so that was a personal struggle for me to go, morning. He takes over. You know? Now there's no takeover. And it's the one call I made to him, and I said at a certain point, do you mind making sure that you drop off the kids? I'll pick them up and so on. And he was citing his hectic life and having to go to instances. What if he has to go to a meeting outside town? He doesn't want to be tied down to daily activities like that, you know? And I think that moment became a moment of clarity for me that, you know what, this you're on your own here, right? And you have to make this work for you. Right, and I found strategies to make it work for me. So as a parent, it's been a learning curve for me. I felt the injustice of it, but I've also grown in understanding that some of us, singabantu, we will never get the thank yous we deserve, and we will never get the apologies we deserve. And waiting on that and thinking that our lives will ever be fully justified, and the wrongs that are done to us will ever get the attention they deserve from the people that are doing them, is something that some of us have to die knowing that we'll never get. You know. And
you can't allow. You can't.
I think there can be a better rep than that.
Yeah,
but,
man.
You know what?
Actually,
we were seeing you holding your own and having such a gigantic positive attitude, towards life, towards loving, and a passion and a compassion for the people that you are having.
Yeah.
It's very admirable.
Thank you.
And never look back.
Thank you.
You are quite sufficient on your own, and you are capable of so much more.
Thank you.
Than you can even imagine. But I still want my dearest friend, O'Brien, to play us out, to wrap it up.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Ndobana, you can't allow, you've actually said it best, Ndobana, you can't allow the lack of a person's apology to hold you back from continuing with your life.
Absolutely.
You can't expect a person who has not said thank you. You can't not live your life just because a person
hasn't acknowledged what they owe you. Absolutely.
And I think that's the one thing we can take away from your journey.
Absolutely.
From Ezlalini through iskolo, through marriage, through iskolo kwakhona, and through iskolo osfake kuso wena of navigating life. It was a journey that I bet you never expected would get to 20 episodes, and now look at us sitting here talking about season 2 and making it even bigger.
Yeah.
So to you, Shana, keep growing, keep shining.
Thank you.
You got this.
Thank you.
And you've got the proper support structure and the right people around you to
so much.
Constantly keep doing that. You've got the people who love you. Your kids love you. Man, come on, man. Your dad loves you. And we do want to speak to your dad. We have to talk to your dad.
Shame, man.
We have to talk to him. But funeka load data bundles in English now. Funeka these load data bundles in English.
But expect to see somebody who loves his daughter.
Sure.
I've experienced a bit of that.
Loves his daughter.
Yeah.
My goodness.
We're gonna have a chat with him.